Everyone, let's talk about something important today, something that has the power to change the trajectory of your life. Not what you should start doing, but what you need to stop doing. Sometimes the weight that's slowing us down isn't what we're carrying, but what we refuse to let go of. So I want to talk to you about 4 things you need to stop doing immediately if you want to live a life of purpose, passion, and progress. Self-doubt is one of the most insidious forces that can hold you back from achieving your full potential. It doesn't scream loudly, but it whispers persistently, planting seeds of uncertainty and fear that can grow into barriers to your success. Overcoming self-doubt is not just a matter of thinking positively. It's about fundamentally reshaping the way you view yourself, your abilities, and your value. It starts with recognizing self-doubt for what it is: a false narrative that undermines your confidence and stifles your dreams. When you allow self-doubt to take root, it affects every aspect of your life. You hesitate to take risks, fearing failure. You second-guess your decisions, unsure if you're capable. You may even avoid opportunities because you convince yourself that you're not ready or not good enough. This hesitation creates a cycle. The more you doubt yourself, the less action you take, and the less action you take, the more your doubts seem justified. Breaking this cycle requires a conscious effort to challenge those doubts and replace them with affirmations of your worth and capability. The first step in overcoming self-doubt is understanding that it's often rooted in fear of failure, fear of judgment, or fear of the unknown. These fears can be paralyzing, but they're not insurmountable. Start by confronting these fears directly. Ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? Often you'll find that the consequences you're imagining are either unlikely or not as catastrophic as they seem. By putting your fears into perspective, you reduce their power over you. Another key to overcoming self-doubt is shifting your focus from perfection to progress. Many people doubt themselves because they set unrealistically high standards and feel they must have everything figured out before taking the next step. The truth is, no one starts out as an expert. Growth happens through action, learning, and persistence. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect version of yourself, embrace the idea that you're enough right now to take the first step. Progress, not perfection, is what leads to success. Surrounding yourself with the right influences is another powerful way to combat self-doubt. People who support and encourage you can help reinforce your confidence and remind you of your strengths when your inner critic gets loud. Seek out mentors, friends, or colleagues who believe in you and are willing to offer constructive feedback that helps you grow. At the same time, limit your exposure to negativity and criticism that isn't constructive. The voices you listen to, both internal and external, shape your belief in yourself. Building evidence of your competence is another strategy to silence self-doubt. When doubts arise, they often latch onto a lack of tangible proof. Start keeping track of your achievements, no matter how small they seem. Write down your successes, the challenges you've overcome, and the skills you've developed. When self-doubt creeps in, revisit this list to remind yourself of what you're capable of. You'll realize that you've already accomplished more than you give yourself credit for. One of the most important aspects of overcoming self-doubt is changing the way you talk to yourself. Your inner dialogue plays a significant role in shaping your mindset. When you catch yourself thinking, "I can't do this," or "I'm not good enough," pause and reframe those thoughts. Replace them with statements like, "I can learn this," or "I am capable of figuring this out." The words you use with yourself matter. They have the power to either build you up or tear you down. Taking action is a powerful antidote to self-doubt. When you take even small steps toward your goals, you prove to yourself that you're capable. Each action builds momentum, and with momentum comes confidence. Remember, action doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be consistent. The more you act despite your doubts, the more you'll realize that those doubts were never as valid as they seemed. It's also important to be kind to yourself. Self-doubt often thrives on harsh self-criticism and unrealistic expectations. Treat yourself with the same compassion you'd offer a friend. Acknowledge that everyone makes mistakes and has moments of uncertainty. Instead of berating yourself for these moments, view them as opportunities to grow and learn. Self-compassion is not about excusing laziness or mediocrity. It's about recognizing that you're human and that growth takes time. Ultimately, overcoming self-doubt is not about never feeling unsure. It's about not letting those feelings dictate your actions. It's about trusting yourself enough to try, even when you're uncertain of the outcome. Each time you choose to act in the face of doubt, you weaken its grip on your life. Over time, you'll find that your confidence grows stronger, your fears grow quieter, and your ability to achieve your goals becomes undeniable. Self-doubt may never disappear entirely, but it doesn't have to control you. You are capable, you are strong, and you are enough right now, just as you are. Comparison is a silent thief that robs you of your joy, your confidence, and your peace of mind. It's tempting to measure your progress, worth, or achievements against others. But the truth is, this habit only leads to dissatisfaction and self-doubt. When you compare yourself to someone else, you're often comparing your behind the scenes to their highlight reel. You see the polished version of their life, the successes, the victories, the moments they choose to share, but you miss the struggles, the failures, and the sacrifices they've endured to get there. This skewed perspective distorts reality and leaves you feeling inadequate. It's important to recognize that everyone's journey is different. You and the person you're comparing yourself to might have entirely different starting points, circumstances, or goals. Trying to measure your progress against theirs is not only unfair to you, but also irrelevant. Your path is yours alone. The lessons you learn, the challenges you face, and the milestones you reach are uniquely tailored to your growth. When you embrace this individuality, you free yourself from the constant need to measure up to others. Another issue with comparison is that it shifts your focus away from your own growth. When you're busy watching someone else's life, you lose sight of your own potential. You spend energy wishing for what they have instead of cultivating what's already within you. This distraction prevents you from recognizing your strengths, appreciating your progress, and celebrating your achievements. It's like running a race while constantly looking sideways. You're more likely to trip than to cross the finish line. Instead of comparing, practice self-reflection. Take time to evaluate your own journey. What have you accomplished so far? What challenges have you overcome? What goals have you set and achieved? When you reflect on your own path, you'll begin to see how far you've come. You'll also identify areas where you can grow, but from a place of empowerment rather than inadequacy. Self-reflection helps you stay grounded in your own journey, focusing on your progress rather than someone else's. Another powerful way to combat comparison is to shift your mindset from envy to inspiration. When you see someone succeeding, let their achievements motivate you rather than discourage you. Instead of thinking, why can't I have that? Ask yourself, what can I learn from their journey? Perhaps their hard work, discipline, or creativity can serve as a model for your own growth. By viewing others as sources of inspiration rather than competition, you turn comparison into a tool for personal development. Gratitude is another antidote to comparison. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, you cultivate a sense of contentment and abundance. Gratitude helps you recognize the blessings in your own life, no matter how small they may seem. Take time each day to reflect on what you're thankful for: your health, your relationships, your opportunities, or even your unique talents. When you approach life with gratitude, you're less likely to envy what others have and more likely to appreciate what's already yours. It's also important to set your own definition of success. Society often promotes a one-size-fits-all idea of what it means to be successful: wealth, status, or popularity, but success is deeply personal. What matters to you? What brings you fulfillment? When you define success on your terms, you stop chasing someone else's dream and start living your own. This clarity helps you focus on your goals without being distracted by what others are doing. Remember that social media plays a significant role in fueling comparison. The curated images and stories you see online rarely reflect the full picture. Behind every perfect post is a human being with struggles, insecurities, and imperfections. While social media can be a source of connection and inspiration, it's essential to approach it with a critical eye. Limit your time online if you find it triggering, and remind yourself that what you're seeing is only a fragment of someone's reality. One of the most liberating realizations is that there's enough room in the world for everyone to succeed. Someone else's achievements don't diminish your potential. They're simply a testament to what's possible. When you let go of the need to compare, you create space for collaboration, encouragement, and mutual support. You can celebrate others' successes without feeling threatened, knowing that your journey is uniquely valuable. Ultimately, the only person you should compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. Are you growing, learning, and improving? Are you becoming the best version of yourself? These are the questions that truly matter. Life is not a competition, but a personal journey of growth and fulfillment. By focusing on your own path and appreciating your unique strengths, you free yourself from the burden of comparison and embrace the freedom to live authentically. Excuses are among the most common barriers to progress, and they often disguise themselves as valid reasons. When you make excuses, you relinquish control over your circumstances and place limitations on your potential. Excuses might feel like a way to protect yourself from discomfort or failure, but in reality, they keep you from taking ownership of your life and moving forward. If you want to achieve meaningful success, you must stop making excuses and start embracing accountability. Excuses are often rooted in fear of failure, fear of judgment, or fear of the unknown. It's easier to say, "I didn't have enough time," or "the circumstances weren't right," than to confront the possibility of falling short. But fear, while natural, should not dictate your actions. Each time you allow fear to become an excuse, you reinforce a mindset of avoidance and limitation. Breaking free from this requires the courage to face your fears head on and to act despite them. Another reason people make excuses is to avoid responsibility. Admitting that you're responsible for your circumstances can be uncomfortable because it forces you to confront the areas where you've fallen short. But here's the truth: taking responsibility is empowering. When you stop blaming external factors, you reclaim control over your life. You acknowledge that while you can't control everything, you can control how you respond and what actions you take. This shift from blame to responsibility is the first step toward meaningful change. Time is one of the most common excuses people use. "I don't have time" is often a way of saying, "It's not a priority right now." Everyone has the same 24 hours in a day, and how you choose to spend them reflects what truly matters to you. If something is important, you'll find a way to make time for it. This might mean reassessing your schedule, cutting back on distractions, or saying no to less meaningful commitments. The key is to align your time with your priorities rather than letting it slip away to excuses. Lack of resources is another excuse that frequently holds people back. "I don't have enough money," knowledge, or connections becomes a justification for inaction. While resources are undoubtedly important, they are rarely the sole determinant of success. Many people have achieved great things with limited resources by being resourceful, creative, and persistent. Instead of focusing on what you lack, ask yourself, "What can I do with what I have?" This mindset shifts you from a place of scarcity to one of possibility. Perfectionism is another form of excuse-making that can be particularly insidious. When you tell yourself, "I'll start when I'm ready," or "it has to be perfect before I can move forward," you're setting up impossible standards that prevent action. The reality is, you'll never feel fully ready, and nothing will ever be entirely perfect. Progress happens through action, experimentation, and learning from mistakes. Waiting for perfection is just another way of avoiding the discomfort of starting. Excuses also thrive in the company of self-doubt. When you don't believe in your abilities, it's easy to find reasons not to try. But each excuse you make reinforces the belief that you're not capable. Breaking this cycle requires a shift in mindset. Instead of focusing on why you can't do something, focus on why you can. Recognize that growth often comes from stepping outside your comfort zone and confronting challenges head-on. To stop making excuses, it's essential to practice self-awareness. Pay attention to the excuses you tell yourself and question their validity. Are they based on real limitations, or are they rooted in fear and avoidance? By identifying and challenging these excuses, you begin to dismantle the barriers they create. Replace them with actionable steps, no matter how small. Even incremental progress builds momentum and confidence. Accountability is another powerful tool for overcoming excuses. When you share your goals and commitments with others, you create a sense of responsibility to follow through. Whether it's a mentor, a friend, or a group, having someone to hold you accountable can provide the motivation and support you need to stay on track. It's harder to make excuses when someone else is invested in your progress. Lastly, it's important to adopt a growth mindset. Understand that failure is not the end, it's a stepping stone to learning and improvement. Excuses often stem from a fear of failure, but failure is a natural part of any journey. Embrace it as an opportunity to grow and refine your approach. When you shift your perspective in this way, you'll find that the need for excuses diminishes because failure is no longer something to be avoided, it's something to be embraced. In the end, excuses are a choice. They might feel comfortable in the moment, but they ultimately lead to stagnation and regret. When you let go of excuses, you take control of your life. You stop being a spectator and become an active participant in your own success. It's not about being perfect or fearless, it's about being willing to take responsibility and take action. Progress, growth, and achievement are all within your reach, but only if you stop making excuses and start moving forward. Living in the past can be one of the most significant obstacles to personal growth and happiness. The past, whether it's filled with painful mistakes, regrets, or even cherished memories, has a way of holding you hostage if you allow it. While reflecting on the past can provide valuable lessons and perspective, dwelling on it prevents you from fully embracing the present and building a meaningful future. To truly live your best life, you must learn to let go of the past and focus on the opportunities and possibilities that lie ahead. One of the main reasons people get stuck in the past is regret. Perhaps you made a mistake, took a wrong turn, or missed an opportunity, and you can't stop replaying those moments in your mind. Regret can feel overwhelming, but it's important to remember that it's a natural part of life. Everyone makes mistakes, and no one's path is without its missteps. The key is not to let regret define you. Instead, use it as a tool for growth. Ask yourself what you've learned from those experiences and how you can apply those lessons moving forward. Every mistake is an opportunity to grow stronger and wiser, but only if you stop letting it anchor you to the past. Another trap of living in the past is nostalgia. While it's comforting to reminisce about the good old days, clinging to those memories can prevent you from appreciating the present and preparing for the future. Life is constantly evolving, and so are you. The beauty of the present moment is that it's full of potential. By idealizing the past, you risk overlooking the opportunities that exist right now. Cherish your memories, but don't let them overshadow the life you're living today. It's also common to hold on to past pain or trauma, which can be particularly challenging to release. While it's important to acknowledge and process difficult experiences, allowing them to dictate your present and future is a form of self-imprisonment. Healing takes time and effort, but it begins with the decision to let go. This doesn't mean forgetting or minimizing what you've been through. It means refusing to let it control you. Seek support if needed, whether through friends, therapy, or other resources, and take active steps toward healing and reclaiming your life. A powerful way to stop living in the past is to focus on the present moment. Mindfulness is a practice that can help you stay grounded in the here and now. When you're fully present, you're not consumed by what has already happened or worried about what might happen. You're able to appreciate the beauty and opportunities of the current moment. This shift in focus allows you to take control of your life and make deliberate choices that align with your goals and values. Forgiveness is another critical component of letting go of the past. Whether you need to forgive yourself or someone else, holding on to resentment and anger only weighs you down. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning harmful actions or forgetting what happened. It means releasing the emotional burden they carry. It's a gift you give yourself, freeing up mental and emotional space for positivity and growth. When you forgive, you reclaim your power and move forward without the weight of bitterness. Focusing on your goals and aspirations is another way to break free from the past. When you're working towards something meaningful, you're less likely to be consumed by what's already happened. Set clear, actionable goals that align with your values and passions. By directing your energy toward building the life you want, you shift your attention away from the past and toward a future filled with possibility. Gratitude is also a powerful tool for overcoming fixation on the past. When you focus on what you're thankful for in the present, you're less likely to dwell on what you've lost or wish you could change. Gratitude helps you see the good in your life right now, no matter how small it may seem. It shifts your perspective from one of lack to one of abundance, making it easier to let go of the past and embrace the present. It's important to recognize that letting go of the past doesn't mean erasing it. Your experiences, both good and bad, have shaped who you are today. They've taught you resilience, empathy, and wisdom. But there's a difference between learning from the past and living in it. The former empowers you, while the latter confines you. By choosing to let go, you honor your journey while giving yourself the freedom to grow and evolve. Ultimately, the past is a chapter in your story, but it's not the whole book. You are the author of your life, and every day is an opportunity to write a new page. You can't change what's already been written, but you have complete control over what comes next. By letting go of the past, you open yourself to new experiences, new opportunities, and a future full of possibility. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. Choose to live fully in the present, and you'll discover the power and potential of the life that's waiting for you. Taking ownership of your life is one of the most empowering decisions you can make. It means stepping into the driver's seat of your journey, acknowledging that your choices, actions, and mindset shape your reality. While external circumstances can influence your path, it's your response to them that truly defines your experience. When you take ownership of your life, you stop blaming others, making excuses, or waiting for things to change on their own. Instead, you recognize that your power lies in your ability to act, decide, and persevere. Taking ownership begins with responsibility. It's about acknowledging that your life is a product of the decisions you've made so far. This doesn't mean that every challenge or hardship is your fault, but it does mean that how you respond to those challenges is within your control. Blaming others or external factors might feel justified in the moment, but it ultimately leaves you feeling powerless. Responsibility shifts the focus inward, empowering you to take control of what you can influence. A key aspect of taking ownership is self-awareness. You need to understand your strengths, weaknesses, habits, and thought patterns. Without self-awareness, it's easy to fall into cycles of behavior that don't serve you. By taking the time to reflect on your actions and their outcomes, you can identify what's working in your life and what needs to change. This isn't about self-criticism, it's about self-improvement. With awareness comes the ability to make intentional choices that align with your goals and values. Another essential component of taking ownership is setting clear goals. Without direction, it's easy to drift through life, reacting to circumstances rather than creating them. When you define what you want, whether it's personal growth, career success, or deeper relationships, you give yourself a target to work toward. Clear goals provide focus and motivation, helping you prioritize your time and energy. They also give you a framework for evaluating your progress and adjusting your approach when needed. Accountability is also crucial. It's not enough to set goals, you must hold yourself accountable for pursuing them. This means regularly checking in with yourself to assess your efforts and results. If you fall short, acknowledge it without making excuses. Instead of dwelling on setbacks, ask yourself what you can learn from them and how you can do better moving forward. Accountability keeps you honest with yourself and ensures that you're actively working toward your aspirations. Taking ownership of your life also requires embracing a proactive mindset. Instead of waiting for opportunities to come to you, take initiative and create them. If you're not satisfied with your circumstances, look for ways to change them. This might involve learning new skills, seeking out new opportunities, or taking risks. Being proactive means refusing to settle for less than you deserve and taking deliberate steps to achieve what you want. Another critical aspect of ownership is the willingness to adapt. Life is unpredictable, and even the best laid plans can encounter obstacles. When this happens, it's easy to feel defeated or stuck. However, ownership means recognizing that setbacks are a natural part of the journey. Instead of giving up, adapt your approach. Flexibility allows you to navigate challenges with resilience and creativity, ensuring that you stay on course even when the road gets tough. Taking ownership also involves cultivating discipline. Success and fulfillment don't happen by chance. They require consistent effort and commitment. Discipline means doing what needs to be done, even when it's difficult or inconvenient. It's about making choices that align with your long-term goals rather than giving in to short-term comfort or distractions. While discipline can be challenging, it's also deeply rewarding. Each small act of discipline strengthens your confidence and brings you closer to the life you want. One of the most rewarding aspects of taking ownership is the sense of empowerment it brings. When you stop relying on external validation or circumstances to dictate your happiness, you realize that you have the ability to shape your life. This doesn't mean you won't face challenges or setbacks, but it does mean that you have the tools and mindset to overcome them. Empowerment comes from knowing that you're capable of creating positive change, no matter where you start. It's also important to recognize that taking ownership is a lifelong process. There will be moments when you falter, make mistakes, or feel uncertain. That's okay. Ownership doesn't mean being perfect, it means being committed to growth and accountability. Each day is an opportunity to take another step forward, to learn something new, and to become a better version of yourself. When you take ownership of your life, you stop waiting for circumstances to improve or for others to give you permission to succeed. You realize that the power to create the life you want has always been within you. It's a journey of self-discovery, resilience, and purpose. By embracing responsibility, setting clear goals, and cultivating discipline, you unlock your potential and create a life that reflects your dreams and values. The decision to take ownership might not always be easy, but it's always worth it. It's a declaration that your life is yours to shape, and the possibilities are limitless. Your circle of influence, the people you spend the most time with, plays a significant role in shaping your mindset, habits, and overall life trajectory. While relationships are essential for supporting growth, surrounding yourself with negative, toxic, or uninspiring individuals can drain your energy and hold you back from reaching your full potential. It's crucial to evaluate the people in your life and, when necessary, distance yourself from those who hinder your progress or contribute negativity to your environment. Negative people often project their fears, insecurities, and doubts onto others. They may criticize your dreams, downplay your achievements, or constantly highlight what could go wrong. While some of their concerns may come from a place of care, their energy can dampen your motivation and limit your ambition. Over time, their influence can shape your self-perception, making you doubt your abilities or settle for less than you deserve. Recognizing and addressing this impact is essential for preserving your confidence and vision. Toxic relationships are another area to address. Toxic individuals often thrive on control, manipulation, or conflict. They might make you feel guilty, undervalued, or emotionally drained. These relationships can exist in any context: friendships, family, or professional settings, and their effects can be deeply damaging. It's important to set boundaries with such individuals or, if possible, remove them from your life altogether. Your well-being should never be compromised by someone else's negativity or their dysfunction. It's not just openly negative or toxic people who can hold you back. Sometimes those who are simply unmotivated or stagnant can have a subtle but significant impact on your progress. If your circle consists of people who lack ambition or resist change, their complacency can influence your own behavior. It's easy to adopt the habits and attitudes of those around you. So if you're surrounded by people who are content to remain where they are, it can be harder for you to push forward and chase your goals. Letting go of negative influences doesn't mean you stop caring for or loving those individuals. It's about prioritizing your growth and happiness. Sometimes this requires reducing the time and energy you invest in relationships that aren't serving you. This doesn't have to be a dramatic or confrontational process. It can be as simple as gradually creating distance and focusing more on relationships that uplift and inspire you. On the flip side, surrounding yourself with positive, driven, and supportive individuals can have a transformative effect on your life. When you spend time with people who believe in you, challenge you to grow, and celebrate your successes, you're more likely to adopt a mindset of growth and possibility. These individuals inspire you to aim higher, work harder, and stay focused on your goals. They act as a source of motivation and encouragement, pushing you to be the best version of yourself. The people you choose to surround yourself with also influence your habits and behaviors. If you're in the company of individuals who prioritize health, productivity, and self-improvement, you're more likely to adopt those habits yourself. Conversely, if your circle engages in destructive or unproductive behaviors, you may find yourself following suit. Be intentional about the environments you immerse yourself in, as they can either propel you forward or hold you back. It's also important to seek out mentors and role models. These are people who have achieved what you aspire to and can offer guidance, wisdom, and support. Learning from their experiences can help you navigate challenges and stay focused on your goals. Mentors don't have to be formal figures. They can be anyone who inspires you and provides valuable insight, whether in your personal life or professional sphere. Building a strong, positive circle takes time and effort. It requires being selective about who you allow into your inner world and being intentional about nurturing relationships that contribute to your growth. It's not about finding perfect people. No one is flawless, but about connecting with those who share your values, aspirations, and commitment to growth. Surround yourself with individuals who lift you up and align with the vision you have for your life. While it's important to foster relationships that support your growth, don't overlook the value of being a positive influence in others' lives as well. Be the kind of person who encourages, uplifts, and inspires. When you bring positivity and value to your relationships, you naturally attract like-minded individuals who do the same for you. This mutual exchange creates a dynamic and empowering circle that benefits everyone involved. Ultimately, the quality of your relationships plays a significant role in determining the quality of your life. By letting go of negative influences and surrounding yourself with positivity, ambition, and support, you create an environment where you can thrive. This doesn't mean cutting ties indiscriminately or rejecting people who may be going through difficult times. Instead, it's about making conscious choices to protect your energy, prioritize your growth, and align your relationships with the life you want to build. When you take charge of your circle of influence, you unlock a powerful tool for personal and professional success.